Hello and welcome to this video on pulling the trigger, the 10th and final step in cryptocurrency fundamental analysis. So congratulations on making it to the final step. I hope you've learned a lot through this course and that you feel more confident in assessing any cryptocurrency. As I want to make clear, you become a master at anything by developing your own methods and honing them with practice. Take what I've taught you and expand upon it. Use the tools I showed you to get started, then perfect your own system. There's a lot of different cryptocurrencies out there. Find the ones you like and use that as a magnet for finding similar ones. This is known as the circle of competence. You don't have to be an expert on every cryptocurrency out there, or even that many. You only have to be able to evaluate the crypto projects within your circle of competence. As for developing skills and techniques, if you don't want to have to read the whole white paper, figure out a way that you can skim them and still retain the important parts. Another example would be finding communities of like-minded investors who favor the coins you like and use the community for both reconnaissance and evaluations. Above all, don't get lazy. The moment you stop reading white papers, the moment you stop diversifying your research sources, the moment you start taking huge shortcuts or blatantly ignoring responsible steps, that is when you'll get blindsided and wonder what went wrong. This is not to say that even if you follow all the rules and go step by step, that you won't make mistakes or have surprises. Fundamental analysis is not the flashiest, and it's not easy for such a speculative space, but it is certainly going to help put you in a better position than if you're just flying by the seat of your pants and letting other people dictate what to put in your portfolio. A thorough research will help you determine the long-term potential of a project and help on deciding on long-term holds. For example, do you think this project will still be around in 2 years? Short-term prices will be largely independent and speculative. Two mistakes we see quite often: not knowing exits before entry and treating your investments like a day trader. We see people get into something and when the prices go down, they panic, label the position as hopeless, and get out. Then, just like magic, the price shoots back up the moment they got out. Know your stops going in so you're not making decisions on the fly. It's impossible to make rational decisions in the middle of a losing trade. As far as where to buy in, you can use dollar cost averaging to spread out your entry instead of trying to catch a falling knife and buy at the exact bottom. The most important thing is being consistent and sticking to your strategy. It's going to feel somewhat concerning if you got into something like Bitcoin at 8,000 and the price goes down to 7,000. But my point is that there's not much difference between 7,000 and 8,000 if the price goes to 50,000. That could be years off, sure. But the point is that people say they're investors and then they act like scared traders and manage their positions foolishly. If you really want to be actively managing a position like that, or you want to know how to see buy and sell signals, then you should take Doc's class on technical analysis. Remember that fundamental analysis is the study of what to buy and why to buy it, whereas Doc's class on technical analysis is the study of when to buy and when to sell. It's useful to know the basics of technical analysis. These are tools that can support your assessment of market situation, the current trend of a coin, and as I said, to detect possible buy and sell signals and zones. But this is not to say that buying and holding aren't perfectly sound strategies. They're often championed in the crypto community because people know that in time these investments will yield great returns. But as I've said in this class, we need to be looking for projects that have longevity. I look for a solid use case, a robust coin to solve a problem and disrupt an industry, a stellar white paper, an inspired team with exceptional communication skills, and a static community behind them. And if everything adds up well enough, that's when I'll invest. It's important to determine how long you believe ROI will be and make sure to highlight an exit point. For example, 10% of my stack will be sold at 100% profit, 30% at 150% profit, 70% at 200% profit, and so forth, so that you get continual secured profits from the coin. Or you just continue to hold, and if you see the price at your target, you sell the whole position. Both strategies are sound, it's just up to you which one you want to use. When investing, it's important to have sensible diversification. A perfect balance between distribution and accumulation of each coins is important so that maximum gains can be made. Generally, if I make a lot from a certain coin to the point where my portfolio is heavy in that coin, then I'll split this to balance the portfolio once more. Apps like Blockfolio and Delta are great for this because they can give you percentage readouts for your positions, so you know exactly how much you'd like to rebalance. We'll be offering a class on portfolio management in the future, so look for that. Predicting the future is pretty much impossible. Hence the common argument, don't invest more than you're willing to lose. But that being said, if you researched it, you can feel good. Then if you want to buy more, do that when the coin may be currently frustrating you while it's on its dip. Don't chase coins that you currently don't hold while it's up. If you missed it on your research, you missed it, but learn from it so you can see the patterns or indicators you missed in the future. Not one single piece of information can give you an exact idea of whether or not you should invest in a coin, but with in-depth research, you should be able to find the answers to the important questions and better evaluate your investment. I've always stuck to the motto of never invest in what you don't understand. This is difficult in the short run. It's easy to just chase what other people are doing instead of forging your own path, doing your own research, but it will pay dividends in the long run as knowledge is power. Remember that we talked about how fundamental analysis is a lot like fishing, and the sea is obviously not a calm place. The experienced sailor knows choppy waters come, choppy waters go. A state of panic only results in improper judgment and hasty situations. But calmer waters will prevail, especially if you're diligent. By seeking out your investments through Discord groups, Telegram groups, subreddits, GitHub, Slack, Twitter, you shall network with the world's earliest adopters in this market, this future, this realm which stands to change the financial system as we know it. Just like how we built our research document, one step at a time, I want you to make a document that encapsulates your goals within this space. Don't just blindly invest. This has to mean something to you. Have goals and think about the ways you'll achieve them. Importantly, you need to constantly have new goals. If you spend all your time looking to achieve a certain goal and then you do, you'll have nothing to occupy yourself once you hit it. What good is climbing a mountain if you can't look off in the distance and see more mountains to climb? In addition to setting goals for yourself, I also encourage you to continue your education in crypto security, which is how to secure your assets against theft and loss, which will be my next class. And I also encourage you to learn from those who have come before you. For example, read Benjamin Graham's 1949 book, The Intelligent Investor. Obviously, some concepts are going to be outdated, but wisdom carries through the ages. So I'll finish up this class by doing a rehearsed but pretty much live example of the 10 steps in action in the next video. In this way, hopefully you can see how I put concept to practice and a little bit of how I personally evaluate a crypto project.